we have anyone dropping on TSM? It looks like it's going to be a safe drop with the way that they are split up for now. Unfortunate for them again. Looks like, no, wait, they might actually have the beacon. It didn't show up, but the bubble has been thrown down for Snipe down.
Getting the beacon's always huge because you can focus on your early rotation. So let's see, once they get that scan, if we can pull up the map and see how much ground they actually have to go through. And it's going to be another thermal station type of zone. Wow. So Applejack's going to be loving this one. You can see Rice Krispie Treats in the vicinity too. They're over towards the staging area. These two teams love what they see right now. But is thermal station actually open? It is.
Oh boy, what is going on? Team Pringles getting absolutely griefed here. 30-man just coming down on the top of them. They're getting taken out. It's all up to Phony here, unfortunately for them. Los Carritos pick up those 2 kills. 303 tries to come in for the third party off the back of this as well, and Bambino will punish that with the 30-30 repeater. And now there's just 2 members left here, which with almost no loot as well. So yeah, there we go. Los Carritos out, 303 picking up some kill points.
Yeah, very rarely do you see someone excited to shoot that blue drone and actually get an armor out of that. I think that it's pretty lucky there for Bambino in the middle of the open getting that armor swap. He's going to be loving that one and also loving these free kills that are coming over towards their side. 303 definitely not in the running to be in this top 5, but still going to be fun to see what they're able to do none the way. It's taking out one of these teams that are in the running. So nice job as Team Cheez It, another one of these teams unfortunately sitting more or less on the bottom of the leaderboard. Surprisingly enough, Jamerson, especially with what we've seen from them, we've seen a lot of good plays overall, but most notably, I think it was game number 1 when they made that major mistake leaving their game-winning building.
Yeah, right now, Team Cheez It just taking their time. They realize that, again, this one's pulling so far away from them. They have to play the edge here, and with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go, they still have a lot of loot to pick up. There's an additional purple armor for one of them. Don't know exactly what came out of that gold cargo bot as well. On board with Pop-Tarts, though, as they're making their way through No Name, it seems. Double blue armors joining on board with Rockstar, who are now trying to make this push onto Na'Vi, I believe, here in Lava Fissure. Caught out a player trying to go for that crafting, but now it looks like Matt Pickett wants to send it in, has used that stim, try and close the ground up against him. It's Gibraltar on the other side. Do have the longbow in hand along with the R99 at the very least, so he can play that close angle. He's got the purple mag behind it, but he does get tagged from the side by the charge rifle and gets cracked. Gonna have to back off, and it looks like this push will not come from Team Rockstar.
Smart from Team Rockstar, just kind of wait for Tech to make the call, make sure that he can get into a safe place if he goes and needs to use the drone. But look, third impact's out for revenge over here after Ronnie did the box shooting, but Ronnie's answering right back. 2-on-2 situation right now. Bambino has a huge flank if he's able to execute this one-on-one right now. Let's see what Bambino's able to do, and that's Bambino on controller if I've ever seen it.
He's gonna be able to pick that one up. Team Razor, though, in a fight up against CLG right now. Zera Tricky is the only one alive for his squad. Secures the thirst at the very least onto Madness as the third party comes in. TSM is already here on the move, punishing them. Of course, you drop over at Frag East, and surprisingly enough, they stuck around here. Imperial Hal, though, trying to climb up. Lou gets the one clip onto him. Reps will challenge him and finish him off. So CLG are out. TSM now have a massive lead to finish off this tournament.
I can't believe that TSM ends up taking that early of a fight, but they were able to dominate that one right there. And no third party in the vicinity quite yet. So it looks like Hal will be able to get the heals necessary and the armor swap that he needs to get replenished. So now TSM really starting to put the rest of the pressure on these teams. 2 out of our top 5 or 6 teams now eliminated. So who leaves that in the running right now, Jamerson? Applejacks? Pop-Tarts?
I'm not sure at this point, but TSM has about a 20-point lead over basically the rest of them. Remember, the closest one was CLG. They were 9 points down. I believe TSM had like a 16-point lead or something over Cooler. So maybe Cooler, but they have to put a stop to TSM first. Looks like Sentinels, though, do find themselves in a fight down here. It's more than likely going to be Applejacks that are holding this building for now.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the leaderboard right now, and we had Cooler, obviously, at 46 points. So that's a contention right there. Pop-Tarts sitting at 45, and then Applejacks at 41. So a decent amount of points to make up, but totally possible, especially if we see back-to-back wins, back-to-back-to-back wins from a team like Cooler. But getting those early kill points and getting CLG out of the way, absolutely huge for TSM. And that's going to boost their confidence.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to play this one out, especially because they have at least secured, I think, 3 or 4 points. One off of placement right now. We've hit top 15. They picked up 2 or 3 kill points there as well. Right now, Team Nuko just lurking over here by Tree. This one probably going to continue to pull down to the south. We see a lot of teams playing for the choke just to the west as well. That goes over towards Thermal Station. And so they're just going to bide their time. Oh, Intel versus Applejacks taking place right now as they have Aves with a nice high ground angle. We do have the bubble res coming out and preemptive arc star to go down. They have to bide their time there. You see the Q being used by Panders to get out of dodge. And so it's Team Intel that's actually playing inside that building that Sentinels were eyeing, and Team Applejacks have taken the beacon building here on the thermal side. But it looks like Team Noko finally getting pushed now. It's gonna be Prodigy Aces picking that one up. Noko trades back as Rakinishu finds one more, bringing it down to a 1v2 for Noko as he does play inside that bubble, does some decent damage, but as he goes out for the peak, he gets finished off. And now Joey Blackout trying to hold the line as they need to recover Prodigy Ace's banner and get the res onto him.
Again, it's just so surprising that Cheez It's sitting more towards the bottom of the leaderboard when you see that they're fully capable of doing some great team fighting. But here comes the third party coming in. It is Team Intel. Rakinishu going to get the knock right there onto Panders. Looks like some shots being in the back of... Oh, that's another knock too. It's just Metro here. Rakinishu going absolutely huge. Metro is going to hit the armor swap, but I believe a third party did come through. It was Sentinels throughout all of this, and Sentinels is here to answer big time. That's the devotion from Metro right into Retzi. Will the finish come through from Sentinels? It does. Rez going to be hit onto Retzi as well. The third, the fourth, the fifth party continues to come over towards Tree.
You can see the arc stars and the nades being thrown in, but the res is going to be completed, and they have that port, so they will be able to back off of this one and just recover off the back of that. But you have to imagine that their eyes are set on that team to their south once again to try and take this fight. See the ring continuing to pull now over towards that thermal station as we join on board with Rockstar Tech throwing in that EMP a little bit high in the open. Does get tagged down to about 60 HP as the rest of his team is there to provide cover for him, and he's also got some cover to work off of here as they're going to be playing this north side thermal again, getting poked from the side. They're losing out on a lot of economy here, a lot of heals being used.
Yeah, they've been taking so many different fights and haven't been really getting rewarded the way that they've been hoping for, which is how you're able to replenish. But Sentinels is now interested in fighting this team that was making their way over for the third party. It looks like TSM finds themselves in a skirmish, though. Hal takes a lot of damage, about 1 HP. He will have that passive to heal that one up, but does have to hit this battery. Reps doesn't use the bubble, so Hal must not be in major danger over here, as Reps is laying down some cover fire over towards the roof too. So I'm not sure if that was his defensive bombardment. I believe that was the enemy one, so it wasn't very well placed, and he has all of his utility to answer right back here for TSM.
Yeah, he's got that bubble. If they want to push up, Arcstar will force him back for just a moment, though. Yeah, and holding on to that defensive bombardment, but TSM, again, we've seen them from the same position over here by sorting, just calling it, getting out of that fight, and so they will back off, joining on board with Team Pringles, who are just playing this one out as a duo. Will make their way down towards the south side of Thermal Station, but oh my goodness, the Caustic taking so much damage, barely make it behind cover. Surprised that team isn't throwing in nades when they hit for so much. The triple take, full connect to the head, and Stunny will go ahead and roll that nade in and secure the kill as well. Rice Crispy Treats utilizes his position, pick up some kill points. They've only got the one. They have a team underneath them, which is why they can't get aggressive off of it.
And getting Casper into that late game is all they care about here. That gold armor doesn't need to be charged up, so they're just holding that one in their back pocket, as Casper's going to use it exactly for that reason right there. Grab it to hit any type of extra meds and get double utility out of that. So really heads up play coming in from Rice Krispie Treats, understanding this is the long game. And Stunny realizes, okay, 300 shots in the Spitfire, it seems like a lot, but we're still in zone number 2, and you can run out of that ammo so quickly.
Yeah, they're not in a position where they can really easily just recover any loot, right? If they get the knocks from the kills and such. But right now it's TSM slow playing this one out. They have at least secured 4 points as we have hit another threshold. Team Cooler finding themselves in a fight over here by staging. Defensive bombardment has gone down. They utilize that bubble. And it looks like Nasky wants the get aggressive, throwing down his own defensive bombardment, trying to keep that team contained as they close the gap. Nasky does have the high ground angle with that Spitfire, but looks like the team has been able to back away from this one, made their way into the safety of a building for now. You do have the high ground still being held on the other side as well from another Cooler member. That's going to be Sir Dell on that Wraith, but you can see the angle's being used by the squad. They're trying to avoid that crossfire.
They want to take this fight, but it's only because they know that they need the kill points to catch up to TSM. Otherwise, they would be already rotating, playing the late game. That's the opportunity that they need, though. The other team is sending it on to Surdell. Surdell already has a lot of different area to go and work with, and now he's baited these players up to go and actually take the fight and get out of their building. Exactly what Cooler needed here. There's a black hole being answered with, a couple grenades being tossed back and forth. We know that their placement with the utility is really strong. He did connect with a 30 purple there, and that is going to be Bambino going down to Nasky's grenade. The rest of the team going to push up. Nice 70 damage coming through, and this looks like it's only Ronnie alive, which we've seen from Nestle Pure Life over and over again. Yuki and Surdell there to collapse as well. And that is Cooler getting a big team fight win to try to catch up to TSM.
And we're about to hit the top 10 as well, as we're down to 11 squads here. Nasky will get this Phoenix kit off just in time, I believe. No, it was like a half second off, so they're going to have to go for the re-res. He's going to have to hit a syringe before he heals up, but Cooler should be able to recover off of this. Joining on board with Team Pop-Tarts, who are playing the train station on Thermal side. As the ring does continue to pull on over into Thermal Station. They have a big building to hold, and they find a lot of additional utility here, surprisingly enough.
Team Pop-Tarts is one of our teams, again, in the running. Currently sitting in 5th place with 45 points. Remember, TSM had 62 points when this game started. They've taken out CLG along the way, picking up a couple extra points here as we hop on board with them and see what they're up to on their rotation. Snipe Down takes some good initial damage, so he's going to back off. Bubble has been used by the other team, but it looks like Reps is going to be laying down some cover fire over towards the side as it's Hal who charges through, as Hal typically does. That's when he knows he has the advantage. Couple grenades being tossed out. And these players are on the run. We'll see if they want to continue to push. And they know that they have them a little bit split up. There's the flank coming in from Hal. Nice 150 spray. Switches on over. That's going to be 303. He only takes 100 damage while doing about 160. Is going to hit the battery. TSM looking like they're putting up some more kills on the board here.
Yeah, and they're getting revenge on 303, who put a stop to them early in game number 5. And really, with these extra points that they are getting, it's just maintaining this lead they have over the rest of the lobby, over the other teams that can't contest them. In this 3v2, TSM are pushing up. The Arcstar gets double connect, and oh my goodness, 303 might turn it around. Bambino comes up clutch with that one, but it should be down to a 1v1 as Reps does take some damage. It's going to try and use that bat, but he has to cancel it here. It's the 1v1 that Reps clutches up for TSM, taking them out.
Reps goes absolutely huge right there with just a sliver of HP, switches on over to the scout, hip fire shots right there with about 20 HP overall, plenty of time to get the res, plenty of time to get the armor swaps and the heals. Really nice job there by TSM. Those are the extra points that they needed.
And here comes Sentinels. Looks like they're trying to go for the third party, but they don't want to get too aggressive because they realize that the reses already came out, the timing's a little bit late. And Sentinels are just going to slow play this one now. It's just keep maintaining control over this high ground because they do have to rotate onto that train platform as Team Rockstar find themselves in a small, tough spot. Matt Pickett is forced to bat along with Tech. They're just cornered here. Bubble being used as well. We have the EMP getting set up for Tech, and he will throw that down right on top of this squad. Don't know who it is on the other side, but you do have the jump pad to try and get aggressive, and now Matt Pickett with a flank. He only gets the one, but there it is. Cooler answering back. It's down to a 1v1, I believe, here as Tech with that massive now has the triple take. Double shotgun in the back pocket there will finish off Cooler.
And Cooler was basically this lobby's hope for coming up and trying to take down TSM. Now it's all up to basically Team Pop-Tarts, who I believe is sitting at 45. Applejack sitting at 41 in 6th place. Totally possible, but they're going to have to start putting points on the board, and they're already down rollers, having to get that res, and guess who it was? It's going to be TSM. Will they continue to send it on this one? Possible jump pad coming through, and instead it's a defensive bombardment being used by Reps. That one does connect as well. Nice job by TSM. They're going to continue to full send this one, and they're just eliminating team after team inside of the top 6, as Hal's going to go and use that stem to try to find the rest of the players here. And it looks like he is at least able to get the finish, and they do find Aves as well. Instead, Max Strafe going to steal that one from across the map with a charge rifle, but it doesn't matter. That's 2/3 of Team Pop-Tarts down.
And they have the south side cleared. They still have to push in onto that train platform. Sentinels have been set up there, I imagine, having given up that position that TSM are currently playing. Man, they're doing so much work right now. You can see the double reds for Snipe down along with Imperial Hal. Reps is the only one that's close to having it himself, though, as Na'Vi now. They're the ones fighting off against TSM to their southeast currently. We did have a scan coming out from the southwest as well, and so they have to be careful about how they approach this. See Kuya really reticent about making that push out. Team Rockstar, though, are still in a safe position as they spot 2 out. Tech, and it's going to be a full 3 here. I don't think he has, he might actually have his EMP already set. Ultimate Excels have been used. You gotta imagine they're trying to pick up these kills.
It's always a nuisance when Tech's in the lobby. Looks like Pickett's going to start this one off with the Devotion. He's going to finish it with the Wingman as well. That's going to be a player from Flashpoint going down, Senpai the Wraith. As you have the high ground being utilized, and that's Boney from Team Pringles going down as well. So Team Pringles was sitting in 3rd place with 48 points. And wow, everybody really falling apart right now in terms of being able to catch up to TSM. Again, once you see that CLG went down to TSM, the rest of the lobby was probably a little scared because you already know that they're heating up to start the game. And now Rockstar with this high ground in a perfect position to possibly win the game.
Yeah, they were firing off shots towards TSM as well. They got the knock onto Kuya. Crust might pick up one for himself. Now we do have 2 members of TSM finally down, but I think TSM might have done it. We'll see if Refs can clutch up another one. No, he will fall, but TSM have to be happy with that performance. Top 7, lots of kills as well. Na'Vi now down to a solo, getting pushed by Sentinels. They do get finished off, but Sentinels are just down to Senox now, who will fall. Rice Krispie Treats making their slow advance out of Thermal Station. Pick that one up. We're down to our top 4 squads. Rice Krispie Treats, Rockstar, and 2 other teams.
Rice Krispie Treats had 26 points sitting in 7th place when this one started, so not really in position, but Team Pop-Tarts could potentially make their way up and steal a 2nd place from CLG. They were sitting at 45 points overall, now in a top 4 position. If they can win this game, they could possibly make their way up. Also, you could see Team Applejack still alive. They had 41 points overall, so if Trinal could take this one on the Tomcat Rat Cam, that would be absolutely huge, but we'll see. It's basically a battle for 2nd place now.
Yeah, and at this point, I don't know if there are enough kills, for anyone to try and catch up for TSM at this point. Rockstar, though, now making their move for that train platform. They've got the EMP in the back pocket to work with, and when it comes down to these close quarters, the EMP basically covers that final ring as Rice Krispie Treats controlling the south side. Now, there are 3 teams that are full up. That's Pop-Tarts as well, playing the east side of this one. So it's just the split coming out. But looks like Team Rice Krispie Treats might be one of the more vulnerable squads here. Depends on how Impulse plays this north side of his zone. He does have an angle to try and punish Team Rockstar.
Yep, it looks like Pop-Tarts has plenty of area to work with here. You can see the thought process here is don't really all be on top of one another. Everybody has to take different angles and get the information that they need. I'm surprised that we're not seeing a little bit more advancement. There it is. Impulse is going to advance just a little bit to get the angles that he needs to lay down some more damage, and there's the perfectly timed scan too. Unfortunately, that grenade not going to connect, but I do like this aggressive play, and look how close he is to the zone, Jamerson. He's basically a few footsteps away from where that one's going to end.
Yeah, it lands right on the tracks there as they do turn their attention over to Pop-Tarts. Rice Krispie Treats are afforded some rest as you need to heal up, and right now, though, you can see everyone using their ultimate excels. Tech threw down an EMP, but he's already popped 2 ultimate excels. We'll see if he has a 3rd one. He does. So he'll have another EMP for this. The scans come out. Trinal is still on the low ground as Rice Krispies want this kill, but they're getting punished for it, taking a lot of damage. And Stunny now needs to heal up as Casper has been able to bat, will hit that med kit as well.
And they have the longest route to take, unfortunately for them. And a 30 EMP is going to be landing anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be a bubble EMP. Maybe it's going to be behind the wall here. 20 seconds before he has to do that one. Probably about 40 seconds before he actually pops the EMP off. When that happens, it's going to get rid of all of the caustic traps here too. And look at, he wants to get aggressive with a grenade, but that will just force the players into a different area. As the rat does get slashed, Trinal will go down to Stunny with the Spitfire there. Is now is the time to check tech out. He is going to go into EMP form as that ring closes. But remember how slow it closes too. So in about 15 seconds, that's when the EMP will go off. Hopefully for Rockstar, that's when a couple of teams end up using their bubbles. But it's more or less going to be a grief over towards where Rockstar is going to be, especially for where Casper is. Unfortunately for Casper, he hasn't been able to toss that many barrels out and only has 2 in his inventory. Tech rips them apart. It's going to be Bird dropping with the flatline. There goes the battery. Perfectly timed, and then the EMP is going to shortly follow.
Rockstar, they're getting pressured right now. Tech, his drone did get broken, and so he's waiting for that cooldown to come back up. And the Nox gas grenade was dropped right on top of them. They lost it out, and now it's going to be Pop-Tarts coming in to try and finish this one all off. They have the man advantage. They get the kill onto Team Rockstar, change their focus on to Rice Krispies as Impulse does go down, but Stomps and Lucas has plenty of damage left in the tank as well. But oh no, their armors have been cracked. They haven't been able to take out the third player quite yet. Playing around the knockdown shields. Pop-Tarts versus Rice Krispie Treats. As Stomps is going to have the gall to actually hit that bat, and that's because Casper has backed off himself. And now, with the additional heals, they'll be able to push up, and Pop-Tarts take the final win of the evening.